The full moon in Cancer, time to tune in to what your heart truly desires. Hello beautiful people, life can be a challenge, but at least we have each other. Yes, the full moon in Cancer energy begins on January 13th, so in the first part of this video, I'm going to go over the 3 things everyone should know about this full moon, then I will go over how it will affect your individual sign. Okay, no more wasting time, let's go. So I just did the This Is the Worst podcast with my good friend, comedian Brittany Schmidt. I would love it if you guys would check that out to support. I'll put a link to the episode in a pinned comment on this video. I think you will really enjoy it. The full moon in Cancer takes place on Monday, January 13th at 10:27 p.m. Universal Time, which will be 2:27 p.m. Pacific Time, 5:27 p.m. Eastern. So let's jump right into the 3 things you need to know in order to make the most of this energetic opening. Number 1, this full moon will bring the powerful energy of the number 4, the number 5, and the magical tarot energy of the Chariot card. If you live where the full moon will be taking place on the 13th, you can harness the power of the number 4 during this full moon energy, and this also applies to those of you that may have been seeing the number 4 or variations of the number 4 leading up to, during, or for the 2 weeks following the full moon. And the number 4 in numerology is known as the builder number, bringing the message that this is the time to focus on structure, stability, and laying solid foundations in your life. So how perfect that at the start of the year, the full moon in Cancer is taking place on a day that brings an energetic opening and message of setting a foundation for a strong and productive start to the year. So this is a final push for everyone. Now is the time to decide what it is that you want to manifest this year. Keep that complete final vision clear in your mind and in your heart. Feel the excitement of that vision, and now start the process of bringing that vision to life by taking the first step. And for those of you that live where the full moon takes place on the 14th, or if any of you have been seeing the number 5 in the time leading up to, during, or for the 2 weeks following the full moon, you can harness the power of the number 5, which in numerology represents change, freedom, and adventure, which goes perfectly with that number 4 energy, because as you are setting a foundation, this number 5 energy is reminding you to embrace life's dynamic flow. Trust the lessons found in spontaneity. So as you're finalizing your goals and taking your first step, allow yourself to be a little risky and a little illogical. Now is the time to adapt, be resourceful. So together the number 4 and the number 5 are letting you know it is go time. Set your strong foundation now and dream big. Have fun and don't limit yourself in the process. And the Chariot card represents willpower, determination, focus, and the balance between your inner and outer worlds. It is bringing you the message that as you move forward this year, be the driver of your own life. Do this by aligning your goals with your true desires, cultivate discipline and healthy routines, and focus your willpower on what truly matters. Life is all cause and effect. It is your time to be the cause. No more sitting around reacting to the effect created by others. Take initiative and use the power of creation you have within you. Number 2, this full moon in Cancer will be forming a challenging aspect with Mercury in Capricorn, a positive aspect with Venus in Pisces, and an intensifying aspect with Mars retrograde in Cancer. The moon's relationship with Mercury, the planet of communication and learning, may lend to confusion or lack of understanding when communicating. So the way to counterbalance this energy and avoid any drama is to remind yourself as this full moon approaches and during the full moon energetic opening to be open-minded. Be very attentive when listening and do your best to not take things personally when communicating. And when confusion or conflict does arise, instead of jumping to conclusions, communicate for clarity. Ask someone, what did you mean by that? Or how can we come up with a solution where both of us feel like our concerns are being considered? This will be an excellent opportunity to set the tone of how you can improve upon your communication in relationships this upcoming year. And the moon's relationship with Venus, the planet of love and money, will lend to a positive boost in mood, and it will bring a harmonious energy to relationship connections, and it overall will set the tone for good fortune and positive outcomes financially, especially if you have Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces in your big 3, especially as your rising sign or as your natal Venus. This will also assist in counterbalancing that confusion that Mercury may be bringing, and it also indicates that this would be a good time to address any relationship issues with a favorable outcome. And the moon's relationship with Mars, the planet of ambition, desire, and passion that will be retrograde, may cause feelings of insecurity or doubt to creep in. So the way to counterbalance this energy is to resist the urge to follow or connect to those thoughts or feelings. Do not engage. If and when those thoughts come up, remind yourself that your only job is to identify what it is that you're excited about, establish what your first step is, and execute that first step to the best of your ability while enjoying the process. If and when challenges come up, as life will likely bring your way, it does it to all of us, life will shake things up and throw us those curveballs. Instead of assuming that this means that you're on the wrong path or that you're not capable, instead of that line of thinking, you're gonna say, this challenge in some way is helping me achieve my goal. So let me accept what's happening, craft the necessary solutions, and take a step in that direction. This is how you will make sure that 2025 is different than any year before. And this momentum can truly create an excellent shift with this transit of the full moon. Number 3, this full moon in Cancer is an energetic opening where profound emotional healing can occur. This is the start of the year, a time where everybody is establishing what they want to accomplish in 2025. So it's important to check in with your emotional well-being. Define what brings you a feeling of safety and security, and make sure you are taking the steps to acquire the things that will result in a strong emotional foundation. This requires honoring your needs, communicating those needs when necessary, and creating healthy relationships. This way you move throughout this year feeling confident, loved, and able to face the challenges of life from a place of strength. Now let's find out what this full moon in Cancer means for your individual sign. So as you're watching the portion of this video about how the full moon will affect your individual sign, be sure to keep in mind that we are in a 9 universal year. So although on an individual level, I'm speaking to you about the best way for you to navigate this full moon, on a collective level, there's definitely going to be a bit of heaviness overall. Remember, the 9 year is an ending of a cycle with major changes on the horizon. In my Capricorn season video, when discussing the 9 year, I shared with you that a 9 year on a global scale brings societal shifts or events that highlight the need for unity, tolerance, and collective growth. Themes of environmental concerns, humanitarian crisis, and global awareness might be emphasized. And we're already seeing some of this beginning with the fires in California and many other challenging circumstances all over the world. So as you navigate your personal path, keep this in mind. If you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. So in this 9 year, remember, we are all in this together. We are all connected. So absolutely work to achieve your own goals, but remain compassionate, remain connected, and help when and where you can in the process. Okay, my powerful Aries, this full moon energy is going to be in your 4th house. So Aries, this is your time for a true emotional cleansing. This is time for you to accept everything that you have been through, take inventory of whatever lessons you feel you may have learned during your life experience up to this point, and now make an agreement with yourself to no longer allow your past to define you. If you saw my new moon in Capricorn video, hopefully you remember the 3 steps to letting something go. If not, check that out, because letting go is such an important part of this Capricorn season, that new moon in Capricorn, and now this full moon in Cancer, because in order to truly heal, you must truly be willing to let go. And this full moon in Cancer for you is an energetic opening that is emphasizing the need for you to release any pain, frustration, or negative influence your family may have had on you in the past or presently. And this isn't to say that your family is bad or that your parents or siblings are negative people. However, this is to say no one is perfect, and all families and upbringings have their challenges and experiences that can negatively affect individuals being raised in that family. And now, this is the time for you, Aries, especially if you want to give yourself the greatest opportunity for success and growth in 2025, to address any issues with parents or family. And this doesn't mean confronting them and hashing things out necessarily, but it does mean accepting anything from the past that you know you cannot change, releasing any resentment, anger, or pain around what it is that you need to release, and then asking yourself, is there anything that you would need in the present in order to feel better about an unresolved situation. And if there is something that can be done or needs to be communicated, fantastic. Now is a great time to do so. Making sure to not communicate from a place of blame, but from a place of sharing how you feel, how you experienced something, and what it is that you would need from whoever you are communicating with in order to feel better or in order to feel resolved about the situation. So the theme is take actionable steps toward resolution where possible with solution-oriented communication, and also where that sort of exchange is not possible, it is about loving yourself enough to accept what took place and take your power back by no longer allowing any circumstances from the past to define you. So this is an amazing opportunity for you, Aries, to truly turn the page once and for all on any family drama. Accept the people you love for who they are while creating healthy boundaries with those that need them, and then deepening the connection with those that give you the love you know makes you feel supported. This way you can step forward into this next chapter feeling stronger than ever and ready for a year of success and fulfillment. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Aries. Okay, my powerful Taurus, this full moon energy is going to be in your third house. So Taurus, this is going to be a big one for you, because this is going to be an opportunity for you to get a new perspective on what communication means for you, and then make a commitment to implementing the necessary tools to elevate your communication as you move forward in 2025. So Taurus, you tend to go with the flow, which is great. This is one of the things I love about you, and you will speak up when absolutely necessary, but there are times where you can have a feeling of discontent, or you will get a hint from your instinct, and instead of following that and communicating accordingly, or connecting to that and communicating accordingly, you sometimes avoid speaking up due to the fact that you might be misunderstood, or the situation might cause conflict in some way, or you fear it may yield some undesired result. So Taurus, this is the point at the start of the year where you make a commitment to yourself to love yourself enough to honor your instincts and honor your truth, and then communicate accordingly. If you know that there is something that is not working for you in a relationship, and because this is the third house, this can be related to a sibling or a neighbor, but definitely because this full moon is in Cancer, this could also be a romantic relationship or a family member or a friend. And this could actually even mean how you communicate with yourself. However this manifests for you, it's time for you to make an agreement with yourself that if there is something that is bothering you, you are going to first identify what you would need regarding the situation in order to feel better or to feel resolved about it. And this has to be an action that someone can take, something they can do that will make you feel better, and then communicating what it is that you need. This will not only give this person the opportunity to show you that they care, but it will also give you the opportunity to see that loving yourself means being willing to make yourself a priority, and making yourself a priority means making sure that your needs are being met in any sort of relationship. So if you get triggered in any way during this full moon, or if there is a lingering circumstance that you know you need to address, identify what it is that you need, then make it a priority to have the conversation. And if nothing like this comes up, also bring awareness to how you speak to yourself. Are you harsh with your words when you speak to yourself? And don't get me wrong, I am all about being honest and painfully honest with yourself. And that sometimes is harsh, but are you also loving with yourself, accepting of yourself, supportive of yourself? As we move into 2025, Taurus, this is your time to set a new foundation for how you speak to yourself, how you communicate with others. Words have so much power, and this is your year to use that power lovingly and effectively. So keep this in mind during this full moon and as you step forward into 2025. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Taurus. Okay, my powerful Geminis, this full moon energy is going to be in your second house. So Geminis, this is going to be a full moon that brings into light what matters to you and what will be your focus in terms of what your priorities are and what you truly value as you move into 2025. So much of your life experience is going to be based on where you put your focus. So putting your focus into what matters to you and what you value is going to be so important as you step on the path of this upcoming year. If you find yourself being distracted by drama or conflicts or previous unresolved issues, ask yourself, are these really the things that I value? Are these the circumstances that you want to see grow in your life? Because if you keep giving them energy, and you allow yourself to be distracted by them, they will grow. With the sun transiting the 8th house and this full moon transiting your 2nd house, it is likely, if you're in a relationship, for the topic of money to come up. And this is a blessing because this gives you the opportunity at the start of the year to have a conversation to establish how the two of you want to handle money in the relationship moving forward. If you're not in a romantic relationship, this is an excellent time for you to check in with yourself and really bring awareness to whether or not you feel like you have a positive relationship with wealth and attracting abundance. Do you tend to have negative emotions connected to the way that the system works now? And if you do, how do you find that thought and that feeling about the way our system works, how does that manifest in your life and in your behavior and your choices as a result? And I'm not at all saying that you have to love the way our financial system is set up in this world, that or otherwise you'll have problems with manifesting wealth, but I am saying that your mindset regarding this will have a strong impact on your relationship with wealth. And if it hasn't been great up to this point, then maybe now is a fantastic time to change your perspective. Not in how you see the system necessarily, but in how you intend to approach operating within that system in a way that creates a life for yourself where you have freedom to be able to do the things that you want to do, Gemini. This is your time of year to sit down and say, when it comes to abundance and what you value, where are you right now? Where do you want to be, and what needs to shift, adapt, or change in order to get there? So recognize that whatever shows up in this area of your life during this full moon energy is an opportunity for you to get in the flow and set up a strong foundation and relationship with abundance. So whatever takes place, even the challenges that come up, make sure you see those as a window into what the issue might be that's keeping you from the flow of abundance and wealth that you absolutely deserve. You deserve to have that freedom. You deserve to have that flow and that energetic connection where you are manifesting the things that you desire, and you can share in the way that you want to share, and you can do the things that you want to do. This way, this area of your life can be a source of security, freedom, and even excitement as you continue on your path in 2025. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Gemini. Okay, my powerful Cancerians, this full moon energy is going to be in your 1st house. So Cancers, during a 4-week period where you more than likely have not felt quite like yourself, and this can be for the positive in some ways and maybe for the negative in some ways, but your usual balance has been off. In a 4-week period where this has been the case, this full moon in Cancer is here to ask you who you are going to be this year. Do you want this year to be different than last year? And if you do, what needs to change? And this doesn't mean you need to change who you are at the core of your being, but it does mean that it is an opportunity to change how you look at certain aspects of yourself and of your life. So that way you feel differently about those aspects, because when you feel differently, you make different choices. And when you make different choices, you get different outcomes. And this is how change really occurs. So this is how much the universe loves you. In order to help you decide where a change may need to occur, the universe will absolutely bring up circumstances during this full moon. Could be the few weeks leading up to, or the actual few days of the full moon, or even for the 2 weeks after, but most likely either the 2 weeks leading up to or during the day of the full moon. The 2 weeks following is more of a time where you're meant to really make the shift that you just learned you need to make. But whatever comes up for you during that time, whatever sort of conflict and feelings related to that conflict, ask yourself, what is it about your belief system that led you to have the reaction that you had in those circumstances? Or what is it about your belief system that played a part in creating those circumstances? And you are asking yourself that question because the answer to that question is going to point directly to what needs to change. So you, more than any other sign, can use this full moon energy to truly facilitate change and deep-rooted change. Also, because we are in Capricorn season and you have been able to see very clearly how you respond to situations when your Cancerian nature is a bit diminished, this will also assist you when it comes to identifying where certain parts of your personality really work in your favor. So that way you can continually amplify those traits even when your Cancerian energy comes back in full force, or you will see where certain parts of your personality greatly suffer from having the lack of that Cancerian energy. This is the time to be 100% honest with yourself, Cancers. Look at yourself very honestly and establish how you want to show up in 2025. What needs to be released once and for all in order to truly let your light shine and to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Now, if you haven't seen my new moon in Capricorn video, I go over the 3 steps of how to completely let something go. So check that out. It may be helpful in this process. But overall, this full moon is an incredible opportunity for you Cancers to step on your path of fulfillment and optimize your manifesting energy and your love for life. So embrace this energetic opening and happy full moon Cancers. Okay, my powerful Leos, this full moon energy is going to be in your 12th house. So Leos, this is going to be one of those full moons that is very deep for you. This is less about letting that Leo fiery fun expand and so much more about taking some time to do some inventory and look deep within to identify if there's anything that may be bothering you that you may not even have realized, or that maybe you have realized but you've been avoiding for a while, or if there's anything that you thought you may have already dealt with but your life is showing you that there is something that still needs to be addressed. It's time to really take a breath from the hectic energy of life right now and allow your inner voice to guide you. So if there is something that fits this description, then it is time to address it. So that way it no longer plays a role in your life moving forward, or plays a negative role at least. Now, like I was just telling my Cancerians, if you haven't seen my new moon in Capricorn video, make sure to check that out because I go over the 3 steps of how to completely let something go. So that way, once you do identify what may be causing you conflict in your life, you can now have the steps on how to process it and release it. So the way to look within and identify this is to make sure that you pay attention to any conflict or any challenges or negative feelings that come up for you during this time. And when they do come up, instead of focusing on who or what is triggering those feelings, instead focus on why these feelings may be coming up. What is it at the root of these feelings? And usually at the root of these feelings is some sort of fear. Fear of loss or fear of abandonment, fear of not receiving the love that you know you desire. Once you get to that root, you can also likely find the experience or experiences in the past that created the belief system about life that then results in that feeling coming up as an expression of that belief system. This way, you can use the steps to process that experience, release it once and for all, along with that belief system connected to the experience, and now establish a new belief system connected to this area of your life that will trigger feelings of excitement and of confidence and optimism and overall of peace. The 12th house is ruled by Pisces, which is very compatible with Cancerian energy. So this can be a very healing, loving, caretaking, and absolutely transformative full moon for you. You just have to do your part by allowing yourself some downtime to receive the information your soul wants you to know. If you find yourself using distractions, resist the urge. Instead, meditate a bit, journal a bit, pray. Of course, you can still have fun. I'm not saying be a monk for 2 weeks. I'm just saying if you get a chance to take a break, take it. And if something does come up like a conflict or a challenge, don't distract yourself from the message that the universe has for you by placing some blame. Instead, use it as a window into how you can know yourself and love yourself better, resulting in more confidence, in more optimism, and in you manifesting your desires more powerfully as you move forward into 2025. So embrace this energetic opening and happy full moon, Leo. Okay, my powerful Virgos, this full moon energy is going to be in your 11th house. So Virgos, while other signs may be experiencing a bit more drama, this is definitely going to be a full moon for you that brings some opportunity, some clarity, and even resolution your way. This is the time of year where everyone is getting their footing, establishing their goals, and doing their best to remain optimistic regarding what is ahead for this year. And the first order of business for you in terms of what this full moon is bringing your way is clarity when it comes to who is going to be a part of your life this year, who will be on your team, who will be there to support you, to work with you, to uplift you, to be creative with you, and embrace the new you that you are stepping into. The way this will be revealed is through the actions of the people in your life, meaning the friends that you have will very clearly show you if they are bringing the balance of give and take to the relationship. Are they offering as much to you and your life as you are to theirs? If there is a friendship that needs resolution, this will be the time where that friendship will either reach that necessary resolution and the connection will deepen, or this will be the time where you realize that this friendship may have run its course. You may even make a new friend or two during this time, or establish a relationship with someone that was more of an acquaintance, and now they show that they can step into that friend category. This will also be a time where you will not only intellectually be able to envision what it is that you truly want, but you will also be very connected to your intuitive gut feeling about what you see for yourself in 2025. This will also be the time to take action in the direction of those goals because you are likely to get some strong forward movement very quickly, Virgo. Capricorn season is in your 5th house, and this full moon in Cancer is in your 11th house. Both extremely positive energies indicating positive outcomes for whatever you do regarding pursuing your goals. This also indicates a strong romantic connection. So if you are single and you're looking for love, this could be a time where a friend becomes a lover. And if you're already in a relationship, this could be a time where the two of you really deepen that part of your relationship that connects that side of you that does realize that you're not only lovers, but this person is also your best friend. So overall, Virgo, this is not one of those full moons where there is a huge lesson or a major turning point. Instead, it is a major opening to see very clearly what this next chapter will be all about, who will be in it, and you will even get some strong momentum when it comes to achieving your goals at the start of the year. So an exciting full moon for you, Virgo. Embrace this energetic opening and happy full moon, Virgo. Okay, my powerful Libras, this full moon energy is going to be in your 10th house. So Libras, this is the time of year to really set your intentions and get some clarity on what it is you want to do for a living and not necessarily for the rest of your life, just in terms of 2025. What do you want to do when it comes to making money and how you want to have an impact on the world around you? So even if you already know what you will be doing professionally, this is an excellent time to establish how you want that to look. Or perhaps you are lucky enough to not have to work, which is great, but this 10th house will still offer you the opportunity to establish how you would like to spend your time, and it will also indicate or open the window into seeing if there may be some money making opportunities along the way. The 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, and we are in Capricorn season, and this full moon in Cancer is an opportunity to find out what you truly want, Libra, in this area of your life based on how you feel about it. When making a decision, you tend to weigh all options, which is great, but at times this can then create a situation where you feel a bit overwhelmed by too many options. When I work with people that want to establish what it is that they want to do, especially when it comes to professionally, I first ask them, okay, well, what are the options that we're dealing with? Then once they tell me the options, I tell them to take all the practicality off the table. Forget about how to make it happen. Even forget about how much money it will take to make it happen or how much money you're gonna make in that profession. Instead, just think of these options and then tell me when you think of them, which one excites you the most. When you imagine yourself in each of these professions, which one do you see yourself and feel yourself being happiest in, being most fulfilled in? And they can usually pretty clearly answer that question. And when they do, I say, well, that's your answer. Now let's establish the financial goal that you would be comfortable with while in that profession. And then we come up with the final picture in terms of doing that profession, making that level of money, what that would look like, what that would take. And then we just establish the first step. So Libra, this is your time of year to do just that. Don't think of the obstacles that could get in your way. Don't think of the probability or the likelihood of whether or not it's going to take place. Just think, this is what you want to do. What is your first step? And then let that first step be your first goal of the year. Then once you complete that first step, then think, okay, I'm here. What's my next step? And continue this process. Even if you stay in the same profession, you can still set personal goals in this area using this formula, and you will know every step along the way that this goal was created based on what you were most excited about. So you are for sure on the right path. So that is a great way to make the most of this full moon in Cancer. And I hope this year is off to a great start for you, Libras. So embrace this energetic opening and happy full moon, Libra. Okay, my powerful Scorpios, this full moon energy is going to be in your 9th house. So Scorpios, you are in luck. The 9th house is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of good luck and expansion. Being that this full moon is in Cancer for you, this is likely to bring very positive energy your way. You are definitely going to get a surge to your intuitive connection, which you know is already very strong. So make sure that whatever comes up for you during this time, if you do get a gut feeling or an intuitive feeling about something, follow it. Even if following it means just pushing pause for a second on what it is that you're doing and then looking into what that feeling was leading you to look into. With the sun in your 3rd house and this full moon in your 9th house, you are likely to have an opportunity or experience that teaches you something new, that changes the way that you view the world or a very specific part of your life. And this new information will also result in a change in your belief system, which will then result in a change to your choices, because your choices are fueled by your beliefs, and a change in choices is where true change, major change, takes place in your life. This is the time of year that's about setting goals and really creating a plan for yourself in terms of what it is that you genuinely want to accomplish and how. And with this full moon being in your 9th house, Scorpio, you are not only going to have a very strong connection to being very clear on what it is that you do want, but you're also going to have a streak of good luck in terms of when you decide to take your first step toward that desire, you're very likely to get a very clear yes. This is the right direction. Keep going. And this will come in the form of easily accomplishing the first step. It will feel like the universe immediately lined up in your favor. Now, if you find an immediate challenge or an immediate roadblock, this doesn't mean that you're going toward the wrong goal. It just means that there's still something in terms of the way that you look at the goal or the situation, or even the way that you look at yourself, that there's still a belief there or perspective that needs to be shifted in order for you to tap into your true strength and be able to manifest the goal that you've envisioned for yourself. So in order for you to really make the most of this full moon energy, Scorpio, you want to be engaged in actively following your goal, and then use the result of you taking the first step, taking that first action of the year as a major indication of what the next step should be. The overall experience and energy around you during this full moon, though, is likely to be expansive, and it will enhance your life in many ways. These few weeks right before the shift into Aquarius season is a strong momentum builder for you. So just know this is go time for you. This is not sit around and wait. It is go time for you, Scorpio. The universe is in alignment to help you along the way. Just make sure you do your part by remaining open to new perspectives brought on by new experiences, and also make sure you are doing your part by not carrying any heaviness from 2024 around with you, or by getting distracted doing things that you know are not in connection to what the vision is that you do have for yourself this year. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check out my new moon in Capricorn video to see the 3 steps of completely letting something go. This way, if there is something that you need to address and let go, you can do so and then be working at optimum power at a time where optimum power is actually working for you. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Scorpio. Okay, my powerful Sagittarians, this full moon energy is going to be in your 8th house. So Sagittarius, this is the point of the year where everyone is setting their intentions and creating their goals for 2025. And this full moon is going to be a great opportunity for you to make sure that you are not carrying any unnecessary baggage into 2025. So this way you will be working at your optimum manifesting power. Now you are one of, if not the most natural manifester in the Zodiac, because you have the natural tendency to dream big and to believe that anything is possible. However, you are human, and if you have any emotional heaviness or negative energy from past experiences that you are carrying around with you, then you may find it challenging to bring into reality the vision that you have for yourself. Now the way this energetic opening will be assisting you in terms of resolving any of this negative emotional energy that you might be carrying around is bringing the healing power of the full moon in Cancer. And the 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. So this full moon will also bring any deep buried emotions to the surface. So as this full moon approaches, and during the energy of the full moon, if you do feel a surge of emotions, or if you find that emotions you did not even know you had are coming to the surface, embrace those feelings. Allow them to be a direct indication of what needs to be resolved, of what needs to be healed, and then go through that process and then release this energy. If you haven't seen my new moon in Capricorn video, I go over the 3 steps to completely let something go. So if letting go of past emotional pain is something you find is coming up for you, then that video may be helpful. Now this 8th house energy also brings into focus your financial situation, especially if you have any shared finances with someone. So if you are in a relationship, romantic or otherwise, this is absolutely the perfect time for the 2 of you to discuss how you would like to handle finances within the relationship moving forward. If you have already had this conversation, this could be a great time to discuss anything that needs to be adjusted or restructured. Now, whether you are single or in a relationship, this 8th house full moon could also indicate that an investment that you may have previously made in the last few years, or even very recently, this may be paying off during this full moon energy, which is very exciting. Also, Sagittarius, if there is any habit you have or any personal change you know you want to make, an 8th house full moon is an excellent time to break a habit and to create a new, more productive way of being. Self-mastery is key during this full moon. Also, if within any of your relationships, but especially those of a romantic nature, if there's anything you want to address, now is an excellent time for deep, heartfelt conversations with a high likelihood of success when it comes to resolution. However, if you find that resolution is not possible, this also may be a time that you conclude that the relationship has run its course, which can be painful but also is right on time, because you don't want to take anything into 2025 that is not working for your highest good. So overall, Sagittarius, this is going to be an intense but intensely good full moon, bringing opportunities for healing, for improving your relationships, for financial abundance, for facilitating personal growth, and for creating new possibilities for manifesting, which is very exciting. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Sagittarius. Okay, my powerful Capricorns, this full moon energy is going to be in your 7th house. So Capricorns, I hope you have been having a fantastic rebirth season and you are stepping into a new you along with this new year. Well, right along with all of this exciting energy, the universe is bringing this full moon in Cancer to remind you that part of the life balance in order for you to truly thrive this year is to make sure that the relationships in your life are healthy and a source of support, excitement, and connection, as opposed to a source of frustration or distraction. This full moon in Cancer is bringing you the opportunity to address any issues in your romantic relationships by bringing to the surface and amplifying any sources of disconnect. So just know, if anything like this comes up for you during this time, this is the perfect opportunity. Given the placement of Venus and the aspect created with the full moon, this is the perfect time for you to address any issues with a high likelihood of success. Just know that due to the placement of Mercury, you may have a bit of a difficult time in terms of finding the right words, or you might come up against a misunderstanding in the midst of a discussion. But if you are patient and you operate from a place of compassion and solution-oriented communication, as opposed to point proving or trying to find blame within the discussion, you will be much more likely to find the resolution that you desire. Now, it is also possible that you may discover that a relationship that is having challenges has reached its expiration date. And if this is the case, and you know you've done everything you can possibly do in terms of open, honest communication, then this will be something that may be painful, but it can be something that is for the best, because you absolutely do not want to step into 2025, especially after your rebirth season, carrying around any heaviness or negative energy. And all of this also applies to all of you that are not in romantic relationships, because this can apply to all relationships. This can be friendships, it can be family relationships, etc. Now, the 7th house will also bring opportunities for business collaborations, creative collaborations, and an opportunity to finalize any contracts or agreements that deal with partnerships. So this is also fantastic for the start of the year. This is where you can clear up any confusion in terms of what your goals are and who will be a part of your team when it comes to bringing the vision that you have for yourself into reality. This full moon is all about harmony as well, Capricorn. So if you find that you are giving more than you are receiving in any of these relationships, now is the time to communicate your needs to achieve a more balanced energy where the relationships can thrive. Also, if you have been looking to attract someone romantically, then I have good news for you, because the potential for romantic love with the 7th house energy does increase the likelihood of you meeting someone new with romantic potential, which is always exciting, especially at the start of a new year. So overall, Capricorns, this full moon in Cancer is going to be a time for open communication, to set intentions for relationships, to practice compassion and balance, and to also look within to make sure if there's anything you can personally do to move forward this year with a renewed excitement and understanding of what relationships are meant to be for you this year, then you can identify what that is and do it. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Capricorns. Okay, my powerful Aquarians, this full moon energy is going to be in your 6th house. So Aquarius, you may have already been experiencing some health issues leading up to this full moon energy, and this doesn't mean that this is the beginning of some major problems health-wise. What this does mean is that this full moon in Cancer is bringing the energy of healing. So for you specifically, this is a time where you are meant to really tend to health-related issues. But more than anything, really make this the ending of any bad habits that you may have that you know affect your health negatively. And this is your physical health as well as your mental and emotional health. Now is the time to not only implement any solutions that need to be implemented regarding any health issues that have shown up, but it's also the time to set up and set into motion what your daily routine will be that will ensure that you are giving daily consistent energy to taking care of yourself this year. You are a very capable, clever, intelligent, resourceful individual that has major potential, but if your health is distracting you or holding you back in any way, it's going to be very difficult to realize the potential of what 2025 can be for you, Aquarius. So now is the time to get this into order, especially as we approach your season, so that way, when your season does come around, you can hit the ground running, feeling strong, feeling healthy, and feeling ready to make the most not only of your rebirth season, but of the entire year. Now, this will also apply to your professional world. The 6th house, because it is ruled by Virgo, is the perfect time to do some decluttering of your workspace and your home space. It's also the perfect time to first set your goals for the year regarding work, then make a plan of what you are going to do on a daily basis that will guarantee that you are giving consistent energy to the activities that will be supporting these goals. So any frustrations or complications that come up for you during this full moon energy, Aquarius, will be coming up for you for your benefit, because these situations will be a direct window into what might need to change or be adjusted in order to get you in the flow where you can optimize your ability to live a fulfilling life, where you are using your talents, where you are making a positive impact, and doing so while not only maintaining a healthy physical and mental disposition, but while also having a majorly positive effect on the people around you, because that is where you find your true happiness, Aquarius, and making major positive change for the greater good. So overall, Aquarius, look at this full moon in Cancer as an opportunity to assess where you can make the most practical changes to your daily life that will result in you setting the stage for you to be at your best with as little stress as possible, so you can be the strongest and healthiest version of yourself as you achieve your goals professionally and personally, which is very exciting. What you do now can have such a positive impact on how the rest of your year will unfold. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Aquarius. Okay, my powerful Pisces, this full moon energy is going to be in your 5th house. So Pisces, you are in luck. The sun in the 11th house and this full moon being in your 5th house, this is truly a time where the stars have aligned for your benefit. If romantic love is something that you have been wanting to manifest, you may very well come across a connection with a major romantic potential during this full moon energy. Now, because the sun is in your 11th house, this romantic potential could be a friend that you are now realizing is about to become something more. Or this could also mean that through a friend or by going to a social event, that's the way that you might meet this person. But either way, love is definitely in the air, Pisces. And if you are already in a relationship, this will be a time where the two of you have an experience where the connection will deepen. And if you by any chance are a parent, this will be a time where you will have an exceptional connection with your child. Now, I'm sure you already have a deep connection with your child. It's just that during this time, there's likely to be an experience that has a major influence on your child. So keep that in mind during this full moon, so you can be very conscious of how you're interacting with them. This full moon will also bring a burst of creativity and self-expression. So if you've been working on a project for a while, be ready for a surge of creativity to bring you the necessary physical energy and the necessary inspiration to finish up that project and then take it to the next step with a positive outcome. Also, if you find that an opportunity for creative expression comes up, take it, because this is likely to have a positive outcome as well. Now, this Cancer moon also brings the energy of healing. So if you do have any unresolved emotional energy or feelings from the past that start to come up, just know they are coming up to give you the opportunity to face them, process them, and then release them once and for all, Pisces. You do not want to carry any unresolved energy into this year, especially as we are approaching your rebirth season. If you do identify something like this and you would like some insight into the best way to let something go, make sure to check out my new moon in Capricorn video, where I go over the 3 steps of completely letting go. Hopefully you'll find that information useful. Now, this will also be a full moon that supports taking risks for you. So if you have a creative inspiration, or if you have a lot of excitement about something new, go for it. It is the start of the year. The sun is in a supportive place for you. The full moon will be as well. So yes, take some risks. Now is the time. Set practical goals, but do not limit yourself. Be a bit illogical in your vision. This is where the magic really happens, Pisces. So overall, this is your time to go for it, Pisces. This full moon is bringing inspiration. It's bringing excitement. It's bringing opportunity, connection, some romance, and a chance to experience the pleasure of living life, which we all need right now. So ride this momentum while you can. Embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Pisces. Okay, so there you have it. The top 3 things you need to know about this full moon in Cancer, along with some insight into how your sign can make the most of this full moon energy. I hope you all enjoyed the information. If you did, please don't forget the baby tap. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.